U.S. Secretary of State names Special Representative to Iran. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Thursday named Senior Policy Advisor Brian Hook as Special Representative for Iran. The move came as the administration prepared to increase economic pressure on Iran by restoring sanctions to force Tehran to end its nuclear weapons program and support for militant groups in the Middle East. Hook will lead a newly established Iran Action Group to coordinate the State Department's pressure campaign on Iran, Pompeo told a news conference. The announcement was not a surprise. Hook, who has pushed for tough action against Iran and has worked with National Security Advisor John Bolton, has been leading the department's talks with its allies in Europe and Asia to advise them to support US sanctions and cut off Iran's oil supplies as of November. Pompeo said, "The Iran Action Group will be responsible for directing, reviewing and coordinating all aspects of the State Department's Iran-related activity and will report directly to me. We are committed to a whole-of-government effort to change the Iranian regime's behavior, and the Iran Action Group will ensure that the Department of State remains closely synchronized with our interagency partners." German rail operators to end Iran projects. German rail operator Deutsche Bahn and Deutsche Telekom are ending projects in Iran after Washington imposed new sanctions against Tehran and said firms doing business with Iran would be banned from doing business with the United States. State-owned Deutsche Bahn is involved in 2 projects in Iran via its subsidiary DB Engineering and Consulting, a spokeswoman said on Thursday. Both projects will be ended in August and September respectively, she said. Due to the altered banking practices, we have sought to bring the contract to an amicable and timely conclusion. Separately, Datacom, a subsidiary of T-Systems, Deutsche Telekom's IT services arm, has terminated its business in Iran, a spokesman said. Datacom offers consulting services to companies in the telecommunications industry. He said, "Given the sensitivity in relations with Iran worldwide, Datacom ended its business in Iran with immediate effect in mid-May 2018. The ending of Telecom's involvement in Iran followed soon after the announcement that its US unit, T-Mobile, would buy Sprint Corp in a $26 billion deal that remains subject to the approval of US regulators." US expresses concern over persecution in Iran. The United States says it is closely monitoring reports of human rights abuses in Iran, the State Department confirmed on Wednesday, August 15th. "We are closely monitoring reports of numerous human rights defenders and members of minority groups, such as the Ghanabadi Dervishes, who are unlawfully or arbitrarily incarcerated in Iranian regime prisons," the State Department spokesperson Heather Nauert told reporters on Wednesday. Tehran's Revolution Court on Wednesday condemned a prominent Ghanabadi Dervish, Mustafa Abdi, to more than 26 years in prison. Abdi was one of the admins in charge of a website exclusively reflecting news related to the Dervishes. 7 other Dervishes were sentenced to 59 years in prison total by the same court. The US also raised concerns about the detention of Narges Mohammadi, a mother of 2 who was recently sentenced to a total of 16 years in prison for peacefully advocating for human rights reforms. Early marriages of 35 girl children under 13 in just one Iranian town. There have been 35 cases of early marriage of girls aged 10 to 13 in just one town in Markazi province in central Iran. An expert in charge of the health center of Markazi province announced that the town of Kondab had special conditions for early marriages of girl children compared to other towns in the province, with 35 cases of early marriages of 10 to 13-year-old girls being reported. In a meeting on early marriages in Markazi province, Akram Hamza Loyan noted, "In this province, 35 cases of early marriage of girl children between 10 and 13 have been recorded. If there is no quick intervention in this regard, we will witness consequences such as running away from home or child divorces under the age of 15.